In this video, we're going to study the declension of the prepositive article. Remember, we're studying the Greek grammar of Jacob Gretzer, and we may use terms to refer to things that are different from modern grammar texts, and that's just how we do things in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy, where we pursue a complete system of knowledge in the classical liberal arts based on ancient proven texts that we're going to stick with in our studies. Again, this is the declension of the prepositive article, first of the parts of speech, the articles, and this is the declension of the prepositive article. What exactly the prepositive article is, we'll talk about in the next video when we discuss the functions of the prepositive article. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through the declension and also teach you how to go about memorizing it so that you can learn it as efficiently as possible. Okay? Now, obviously, this is pretty intimidating on first glance, but if you think about what we learned in the previous lessons, as I show you what's actually up here on the board, you'll see that this is actually not very complicated and not intimidating at all. And then, as I said, I'm going to show you how to go about memorizing this so it's simple. Okay, first of all, we have the article in all of its forms, all of its declined forms up here on the board. Let's start and simplify what's up here and make sense out of it. First of all, you can see we have three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay, so these first three columns are the masculine forms, these second three columns are the feminine forms, and the third three columns here are the neuter forms. Masculine, feminine, and neuter. All right, so you can see the three genders at the top of the board. Under each of the genders, you see S, D, and P, and that's singular number, dual number, and plural number. So this first column here is the masculine singular forms of the article. Masculine singular, masculine dual, masculine plural, feminine singular, feminine dual, feminine plural, neuter singular, neuter dual, neuter plural. Okay? So that's what's up here on the chart. Not too complicated once you see how things are labeled. On the side over here, we have the 5 cases: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and vocative. And I put the letters on the other side as well, just for reference: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative. Okay, so for columns, we have gender and number for the columns, and cases for the rows going across. All right? Now, how do we memorize this declension? If you look around the chart, you'll see that I've placed a number 1 over here, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 on to 10. What we're going to do as you memorize the declension of the article is you're going to start first here at number 1. And you're going to memorize all of the nominative forms, just the nominatives. Okay? That's step 1. So if I were to ask you, what is the masculine singular form of the prepositive article? The masculine singular nominative, you would say ha. Ha. Okay, it's the Omicron with a rough breathing. Ha. All right? That's the masculine singular nominative form of the article. And remember, we don't need to say nominative case because the nominative case is the regular form of the noun. Really, only the genitive, dative, accusative, and vocative are cases of the noun. The noun itself is the nominative case. So if I were to ask you, what is the masculine singular prepositive article? The answer is ho. Okay? The masculine dual article, to, to. The masculine plural, hoi, rough breathing, hoi. The diphthong, omicron, iota, hoi. So the masculine article is ho, to, hoi. Okay? Feminine singular, he, he. It's an eta, with rough breathing. He. The feminine dual is ta, and the feminine plural is hai, hai. The neuter singular is to. The neuter dual is to. Good pronunciation practice to make sure you articulate the difference between to and to. Okay? Omicron, omega. To, to. And the neuter plural is ta, ta. So we have this first row to be memorized. Ho, to, hoi, he, ta, hai, to, to, ta. And I recommend you exaggerate this omega a little bit for the sake of memorization and spelling. Ho, to, hoi, he, ta, hai, to, to, ta. All right? That's the memorization of all of the nominative forms of the article across the genders and numbers. That's the first thing that you should memorize. And you should drill yourself, and I'll put a quiz on the lesson to drill and be able to give the form when you're given the gender and the number. Okay, so if you're given feminine dual, you would say ta. Neuter plural, also ta. All right, so memorize the forms, be able to say the gender, the number, and give the nominative form. That's memory step one. Once you have that mastered, once you're very comfortable with that, you can easily pass those quizzes 100% automatic. Then we move on to step two. For step two, what you should memorize is the declension of the masculine singular going down the column, each case. Okay? So if I were to say to you, decline the masculine singular article, decline the masculine singular article, you would start ha, tu, to, ton, o. Ha, tu, ton, o. Ha, tu, ton, o. A couple things about pronunciation. You'll see me paying careful attention to breathing marks and to accents, especially circumflex accents. Remember, a circumflex accent, we rise and fall in pitch on the syllable. Tu, to, to. And then for the vocative, o on the same syllable. So the second bit to memorize is the declension of the masculine singular. Ha, tu, ton, o. Okay, that's the second. Once you can give the nominative forms for all the genders and numbers, then give all the cases for the masculine singular. That's step 2. Once you've got that mastered, move to step 3, the masculine dual. To, toin, toin, to, o. Masculine dual. Then, next, masculine plural. Hoi, ton, tois, tus, o. Then on to the feminine singular. He, tes, te, ten, o. Dual. Ta, time. I left out 2 accent marks. Ta, tine, tine, ta, o. 7th, feminine plural. Hai, ton, tais, tas, o. Neuter singular. To, tu, to, to, o. Neuter dual. To, toin, toin, to, o. And lastly, neuter plural. Ta, ton, tois, ta, o. That's the declension of the prepositive article. It's going to take some time, and you're going to have to work very hard and be patient. But this is a very important declension because the declension of the nouns that will follow, once you've memorized this declension of the article, you're going to have a very easy time memorizing the declensions of the nouns. So time invested in the memorization of the declension of the article will be very helpful. And you can watch this video again and again to hear the pronunciation of each of the articles. I'm going to post this chart nice and neatly printed on the printed lesson on the website, and I'll give you quizzes to allow you to drill and drill and drill all of these forms to help you memorize the declension. Okay, so this is the declension of the prepositive article, masculine, feminine, and neuter in the singular, dual, and plural numbers. All right? And I've shown you 10 steps in the order in which you should go about the work of memorizing the declension of the article. I hope that's helpful. In the next video, we're going to talk about the functions of this article, the uses of it in Greek. In another video, we'll go through the whole declension of what's called the subjunctive article. Okay, so we'll just go through these one video at a time with plenty of quizzes online to help you memorize these, and we'll work our way through. And as I said, once we master the articles, the memorization of the declensions of nouns is going to be very simple. So you've got a lot of work to do, but it's simple, repetitive work, and you just need to grind your way through it until you have it all memorized. I hope that's a helpful intro. God bless your studies.